If there's one thing Ohio State transfer Joe Burrow will bring to LSU, then it's a feeling of certainty at the position where it's needed most heading into a telling 2018 season. Oregon is coming off a 9-4 campaign in 2017, but the Tigers is hardly a program on solid footing. Questions abound on where LSU fits in the SEC West on national landscape. There's ground to cover in a rivalry with Alabama, against whom the Tigers have lost 7 straight since the No. 1 vs. No. 2 matchup in 2011. There was an offensive coordinator switch from Matt Canada to Steve Ensminger. The quarterback question wasn't given a definitive answer in the spring, and this year's schedule is brutal, beginning with a showdown at Jerry World against Miami on Sept. 2. More. SN's 2018-19 bowl projections. Burrow at least answers that question after reportedly making the decision to transfer to LSU, as first reported by the Cincinnati Enquirer's Tom Grosjean. Burrow decided to transfer from Ohio State after graduating in May after spending the last 3 seasons as a backup. There's a limited sample size in games that matter, but Burrow played well in each of the last 3 spring games and showed consistent improvement in Urban Meyer's system. Burrow threw for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 2018 spring game before leaving reporters with this quote, "Well, I came here to play," Burrow said. "I didn't come here to sit on the bench for 4 years. I know I'm a pretty good quarterback. I want to play somewhere." So from that end, you have to believe Burrow transferred to LSU with the intention to start right away. That should happen, but is that enough to excite Tigers fans about a glaring need, one that has been the difference in those last 7 losses to Alabama? Keep in mind the Tigers did finish 6-2 in the SEC last year with a victory against Auburn. They have the top-to-bottom talent to compete with anyone on a yearly basis. They just haven't had the quarterback. Consider the production this decade, which includes names such as Jordan Jefferson, Jarrett Lee, Zach Mettenberger, Anthony Jennings, Brandon Harris and, most recently, Danny Etling, your QB's comp. At Perk. Yards TDs INTs 2010 Jefferson, Lee 172,298 57.7% 1,984 911 2011 Jefferson, Lee 165,267 61.8% 2043 205 2012 Zach Mettenberger 207,353 58.6% 2609 127 2013 Zach Mettenberger 192,296 64.9% 3082 22 82014 Jennings, Harris 136,272 50.0% 2063 179 2015 Brandon Harris 149,277 53.8% 2165 136 2016 Danny Etling 160,269 59.5% 2123 115 2017 Danny Etling 165,275 60.0% 2463 16 to that production is, at best, inadequate, especially when you consider receivers like Reuben Randall, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Malachi Dupree and DJ Chark were on the roster during that stretch. The Tigers hit with Mettenberger and missed with Etling on the transfer roulette wheel, and now they're trying again, and this time, they're going to hit with Burrow. More, best transfer QBs of all time. He's talented enough to put up better numbers than any of those quarterbacks, and could make a huge jump between his first and second years after getting a year to learn the system on the fly. At the very least, he should give LSU stability in the position. It likely means LSU loses some combination of Justin McMillan, Lowell Narcisse or Miles Brennan to the transfer market, but that's okay if Burrow pans out. It's the same risk Jim Harbaugh is taking with Shea Patterson at Michigan. If Burrow works out, then this was worth it. We're on board with that. He could be the player who puts the LSU program back on solid footing under Oregon in the face of all those tough questions and matchups in the SEC West. The upside? He's a player who could take on a Mitchell Trubisky-like rise in the NFL. The downside is something in between Mettenberger and Etling. This is a risk that's easy to take. And LSU fans have every reason to be excited about their quarterback for a change.